Hey guys and gals, this is Racquetball Tim again. I'm doing another gameplay analysis. This time we're going to focus on Parker. He is wearing the blue shirt about to serve, the lefty, and he is playing against Bob. I'm going to see if I can help Parker out here. There are a few themes that are going to be pretty consistent throughout the video. Court position is going to be one of those, and then shot selection. Parker, I think you have a good game, and I think you're really, really close to stepping it up to the next level if you can make the adjustments that I recommend. All right, let's get to the video. All right, so what I like about lefties, and it's the same thing I hate about lefties. Lefties have a distinct advantage on the racquetball court. I don't care. I've talked about this at length with many, many people. I truly believe it's true. Lefties get to play right-handed players way more often than righties get to play left-handed players. When a right-handed player is in trouble, he typically hits a ceiling ball to the left side of the court, and that's the lefty's forehand. So if you're going to play against lefties, you got to make your adjustments. Whereas if you're a lefty, like I said, you have a distinct advantage. One of those advantages is right here, drive serve. You'll see Kane Wasalenchuk, of course, #1 player in the world, serve from this position. And the reason why is you're going to want to hit your drive serve a lot down the line right here. Quickest way from point A to point B is a straight line, so you're gonna want to really hit that down the line, especially against right-handed players, of course, to their backhand. You're gonna pound that down the line backhand, and then you're gonna mix in some cross courts, of course, that come over to this side of the court to keep them honest. And then you're gonna want to really hit that Z serve that comes like that back and hits that side wall and takes the funky spin. So this is the lefty advantage. Now, what I don't like about this serve, and you did it a few times in the video, so I want to make sure we go over this right away. What I don't like about it is how you drop the ball and step back. So it's going to lead to inconsistency, right? If you watch Kane or Cliff Swain, for example, one of the greatest lefties of all time, they generally are going to drop the ball. Here, let me show you how this works. So you're going to drop the ball right there. See that right there? And you're going to want to keep it consistently in that location. Okay, so what you do is you bounce it toward yourself, and then the ball moves quite a bit, and you're contacting it too high, by the way. What I'm talking about is I want you to drop the ball straight down so that the ball stays in that spot. I'm not actually sure. Are you putting spin on that ball? Looks like you're actually putting backspin on it, causing it to spin towards you. You are. Okay, so that explains it. And that leads to variance. We don't want variance when it comes to a serve. What I mean by variance is sometimes your serve's going to land here, sometimes going to land here, sometimes going to land here. We want consistency. So when you drop that ball straight down, the serve's going to be right there every single time. Now, having said that, I'm not against mixing it up a little bit. Like Mike Locker, former pro, used to move around in the service box while he was serving to create deception. That's fine, but at the club level, I feel like consistency is way more important than deception. You can from this position right here. Whoops, from this position right here. If you drop the ball in that position, you can still hit all your serves from that one position. You can hit down the line, cross court, Z, all from that one spot. Okay, so we're looking for consistency. That'd be the first fix that I would recommend for you. The second thing that this does is that you're actually backing up. Your momentum's going backward toward this wall over here. I want your momentum going forward. It's going to increase your drive serve speed significantly. So I recommend that your starting position's fine, but I want your weight going that way. Okay, so first thing I would recommend is fix the ball drop so you're dropping into the same spot every time, and then get your weight going forward toward the front wall, which is going to really increase your drive serve speed. Right now you can see you're backing up, and then at the last second you step toward the front wall, but it's too late then, and then you've lost all your momentum, and then the drive serve speed goes down. Okay, second problem, or maybe third or fourth, I lost track, is the height of the serve. This is way too high for a drive serve. Even for a Z serve, that's too high. This is really lob serve height. Not actually, it's a little bit lower. It's like a medium lob serve height. Sometimes I'll hit those. If you want to hit drive serves, though, Parker, get that ball down here, nice and low. You want that first bounce to be just over the line, so that the second bounce is way in the back corner. All right, the serve is just simply too high. Okay, so another thing here is the point of contact. Bob's about to make contact, and you can see your head facing forward. This is something that I teach my students right away. And you're not down and ready. Look at your feet, not down and ready. We're going to see that a few times throughout the video. And these are things that you can fix right away. That's the good news, Parker. You got a good game. You're athletic. You hit the ball pretty hard. Great forehand. If you just fix these things right away, you can become a good player like tomorrow. You know, swing mechanics you have to work on for quite a while. But a strategy like this, just backing up, getting down and ready, watching your opponent hit the ball, those things you can do right away. So I recommend turning your head back, watching your opponent. Do not turn your body back, of course. Your feet should be shoulder width apart, down and ready, actually more than shoulder width apart. Behind the dotted line like a cat, ready to pounce. This is the best place to be right here. Down and ready, knees are flexed like a cat, ready, and then you're watching your opponent to get information on what he's doing. And here's why. He goes to the ceiling and you don't realize it until it's too late. If you watch your head there, so you're looking forward, then the ball's already at the ceiling. And then the last second you look up, you're like, oh, there's a ceiling ball. So now you got to back up for it, and you're too late to be in any kind of offensive position. Having said that, you actually hit a pretty good overhead here. If you're going to take an overhead from this spot, I'm okay with an overhead down the line pass. That's a great choice. So good job on that. I think to be consistent though, you're going to want to get back a lot quicker, and it's really going to help if you turn and watch your opponent. You gain a lot of information. Okay, so here's your second drive, sir. Let's watch this rally first, and I'll go back. Okay, so perfect example. Exact same situation. I think you are putting spin on the ball. Yep, you're bouncing it straight down. See the backspin? Yeah, there's no benefit to that. It doesn't create deception. It just creates inconsistency. But what I do like is you let this ball drop much lower than the last one. This right here is actually pretty textbook. I would say your knees could be bent slightly more. It's not too bad. It's pretty textbook in terms of the height. I like that. But again, you're a lefty. I highly recommend your contact points to be right over here. Okay, so you're going to want to drop that ball right over here. This is exactly what Kane did for years, and Cliff Swain as well. They just pound it right down that line. As long as you're not breaking the drive serve zone, you guys know the rule on the drive serve zone. You cannot break the plane of that line right there with your racket and hit a drive serve down that same wall. That's not allowed. But from where you're serving in the middle of the court, you're giving Bob plenty of visibility to see the ball. He can see that whole ball, no problem. And he can move quickly on that return. Whereas if you move over to this side of the court, now you have a lot of deception. You get a little bit of a legal screen, they call it. You're totally allowed to have the ball come, somewhat close to you as long as you're not screening the serve. Cliff Swain did that for years. Kane did that for years. And it's something that you should do too as a lefty. Okay, so good job on hitting the ball nice and low. I like your follow through, not too bad. I would recommend staying lower, bending that knee a little bit lower, and then your right arm sometimes get in the way, but it's not too bad. We'll talk about more about that later on. Okay, so we got second serve. Let me back up here. Oh, you did some editing, I forgot. So your second serve, we're going to talk about these two. Your lob serves are a little too long. So first bounce is way too far back. So your first bounce, if I can kind of zoom in there and see that. Oops, wrong button. So you can't really see, it's a little bit blurry, but the ball is right there. Okay, so ideally on a lob serve, a high lob serve, you actually want the ball to land anywhere between here and on the dotted line. Those are optimal spots for for lob serves to land, because then the ball will not come off the back wall. Now there's a few variables, the temperature, some courts are a little funky and they tend to bounce a little farther off the front wall, concrete courts, things like that. But in general, I want to hit my lob serves to bounce right there. Two things happen. Number one, it keeps the ball from coming off the back. Number two, if my opponent runs up to cut off the lob serve, for example, if Bob were to run forward and try to cut that off, it's much more difficult for him to cut it off because the ball's bouncing halfway between the short line and the dotted line, and it's coming up, and he's going to have to hit a shot that's about this high, So watch what happens here when this ball comes off the back. You're just giving him a nice, easy setup off the back. Now, Bob's got to let that ball drop, but, he didn't pay me for a gameplay analysis, so don't tell him I said that. That's a secret. So if he lets that ball drop, he's going to put that away a lot of the time. Give him credit for a nice flat swing, though. And then your shot, so you're dead center court right there. The ball is right in your hitting zone. I highly recommend going cross court, which is what you did, and you just end up skipping it. I think that was a short serve there by Bob. By the way, I do love how you edited this video. It actually saves me time from having to look for rallies. You did a nice job on that. Let's see. Yeah, I think it was actually good. Okay, so you're down and ready. I like that. I don't like how far forward you are. One of the first things I fix with people returning drive serve is to get them back farther in the court. Okay, I want you back. Sudsy Montrick used to say ass to the glass. I've said it before in my videos, pardon my French, but you should get your ass to the glass. That way you can cover the corners much better on the drive serve return. All right. So pretty good serve there by Bob, and you were a little bit late on it. And this serve here, this is where your biggest problem happened with Bob. You're going to see this quite a bit in this video. Bob hits a Z serve, and instead of cutting that off, look how you actually take a back step there. See your right foot actually backs up on this instead of attacking that serve. I recommend, Parker, that you run forward right here and cut it off. You'll see what I mean when the ball gets over there. Right there, you can cut that off. You can short hop it, hit it after the bounce, or you can actually hit it before the bounce if you're quick enough. I recommend for now, because you're not used to it yet, to hit a ceiling ball. Okay, you're going to go ceiling off that return until you get used to it. The crossover, getting to it, cutting it off. Until you get used to that, go ceiling. Once you get used to it, then you can start ripping passes and other stuff too. So hitting the ball into the back wall is not the worst thing you can do in racquetball, but it's definitely a defensive shot that it's like a last resort type of shot. There's just no way you can win the rally by hitting the ball into the back wall unless you get some weird crack in the side wall or something like that. But in general, you're going to be on defense every single time when you do this. So it will behoove you to be to work on this as quickly as possible. So you're going to cross over. Now this foot's going to come over here. Okay, that's what you want to do. Instead of having your right foot go back, your left foot's going to cross over, your racket's going to be up, and then you're going to cut that serve off right about here, like I said, and you're going to flick it to the ceiling. All right, so that's your homework. Okay, so you have maybe a little tennis background. You have a little split step in you. There's a video I did a few years ago for a guy named Adam from the Air Force, and he did a split step too. So Bob's got a setup. As he's hitting the ball, look at you. You're like LeBron James. Woohoo! You're flying. It is really no benefit unless, so if you're going to jump early and land like right now, I'm okay with that. But you're actually in the air while that ball's being hit, which is going to cost you, a few milliseconds, which is an enormous amount of time. You probably could have got that ball. Second bounce was definitely gettable. Yeah, you could have got that ball. So try to stay down and ready, knees flexed like a cat, like I said, and then you'll get to more shots. Okay, so going back to that Z serve that we just talked about, this is exactly what I want you to do, that Z serve. See your left foot crossover? Well, you didn't cross over, you actually did a little shuffle step. But what I do like is you cut this off. There's the crossover right there. So your left foot crossing over right there, that's what I want in that Z serve return. Your racket's up, beautiful. Take it to the ceiling. Good stuff. I love it. Now you missed your ceiling, but I do like the strategy. There's that Z serve again. Bob got you a few times with that. You're hitting it into the back wall. Okay, this is something that's going to help you too right here. I've seen this a few times too. So we talked about ass to the glass. I'm not going to talk about that again. I mentioned it already. So you're too far forward. When you cross over here, actually, before he even serves, let's get to this. So see your racket. I'm not sure. Are you in the forehand grip? I can't really tell if you switch grips. When you come to Vegas for your lesson, we'll talk more about this. But it looks like you're in the forehand grip. You should always be in the backhand grip when your opponent's serving and when your opponent's hitting. Most of the time, they're going to attack your backhand. So try to be in the backhand grip when they're serving and when you're in the rally and they're hitting the ball. Sorry, when they're serving and when you're hitting the ball. I believe I said that right. All right, so when he hits this serve, you cross over, but your racket's down. See how down it is? It should already be up above your shoulder, and you should be in a hitting position. There's another guy I teach who does this exact same thing, and then you just have no room to hit a ceiling ball. Okay. Also, because you're too far forward, you actually end up running back toward the ball. This is the number one reason I always teach people to go ass to the glass. Your path is like this. You're heading backward. It's really hard to have any momentum. It's really hard to hit an offensive shot when you're running backward. Whereas if you stand ass to the glass, now your movement. If I can draw an arrow here, your movement's actually forward to the ball, and you can put some meat on it. You can hit a pretty hard shot. You're going to be much more effective. Okay. So get that racket up and return the ball deeper in the court. There's that Z again. Bob was owning you with it. Once you figure that Z out, though, Parker, that's the good news. Once you figure that Z out, what's Bob going to do then? Then he's going to have to go to a different serve. So that's part of the process, is figuring out how to return his best serve and then forcing him to make adjustments. Okay, this is textbook, beautiful shot right here. This is for anybody watching this. When your opponent's on the one side of the court and they pinch to that side of the court, you go down the line to the other side of the court. Okay, this is just like racquetball 101. So Bob pinched the ball here. That means you should hit the ball there. Okay, simple as that. He pinches to the right. You do a great job with your racket up. Nice flat swing. I don't love the jab step. I felt like you had more time to cross over with your right foot. This will be a crossover. A jab step is when you just jab with your left foot like that. Squash players do it a lot, and it's fine in squash. In racquetball, it's much better to have your feet set. I'm not saying I don't do it. I certainly do it as well. On this one, I felt like you had more time. So, try to cross over when you can. Oh, and by the way, you can actually practice this. So if you're on the court by yourself, just get down and ready like you are right there. You're by yourself on the court. You got a ball in your hand. Just toss the ball over here and then work on crossing over with your right foot and hitting a down the line shot. It's a great way to practice it, and you can do it a number of different ways. All right, so having said that, I was nitpicking like a coach should do, but you actually hit a beautiful shot right here. That's a testament to a nice flat swing and good hand-eye coordination. Beautiful shot right there. So again, we're serving in the middle of the court. We're giving Bob a lot of visibility on your serve. Okay, good choice on the ceiling. You kind of missed it there, but I like the choice. If you're in trouble, go ceiling. Smart. Get back in position. Okay, we're going to see this again later too. I want to show you something. So when you hit your ceiling ball, hustle back to position. Bob's hitting the ball, and look how far back you are on the court. This actually comes back to haunt you a little bit later when Bob hits a side wall, front wall, funky shot. You're too far back. Okay. I'm assuming that you think he's hitting a ceiling ball. So I'm okay with you being back, but you're also not in center court. So if you're going to be back in center court. You're shaded to the right side. If you were playing against me, I would hit a lot of overheads right down this wall right here and make it trouble for you to try to cover them. Okay, so what I really like about this is that you ran around your backhand. Anyone watching this is great fundamental racquetball. When your opponent gives you a setup and you can run around your backhand, why not? Why not go to your forehand? It's a stronger shot, right? So Parker does a great job of that. He's got his racket up, knees are slightly bent. Let's talk about shot selection here. Okay, if you had this set up a million times, how many times or which shot would be the best shot to hit here and to give you the highest percentage chance to win the rally? Okay, so we got Bob here. He's behind the dotted line. He's shaded to the left side of the court. Any shot that you hit to the left side of the court would not be optimal because he's on the left side of the court. So number one shot here would be right down the line. Okay, get it away from him. The number two shot, it's not going to be a good one from here because the way you're positioned would actually be a pinch over here because it takes the ball to the right side of the court, but I wouldn't pinch from where you are. The last shot you're going to want to hit is a pinch over here because it goes right back to Bob if you leave it up. So pass would be the best shot here, down the line pass, keep the ball away from Bob. So you end up hitting a reverse pinch. Fortunately, he was actually moving a little bit to the right, so you kind of caught him off guard there, but your reverse pinch, he left it up and he put it away. Now, I always tell people, plan to miss your shot. So if you can absolutely roll out this reverse pinch, hit it just perfectly, 2 inches high, sure, no problem. I have no problem with that shot. But you have to plan to miss sometimes. Okay, so you missed the shot, and because you hit the wrong shot, the lowest percentage shot in that particular situation, you ended up giving Bob a nice easy setup in the front court, and he was quick enough to get to it. Okay, so as a general rule, if they're in front of you, you're going to pass. Down the line pass, cross court pass. If they're behind you, you're going to pinch. If they're shaded to the left side, you're going to hit to the right side. If they're shaded to the right side, you're going to hit to the left side. Simple as that. Okay. This is a good example too. I saw this a few times. Parker, Bob hits some serves off the back. You got a perfect setup. You do a really nice job getting your racket up. I love your racket prep. I love the way you're squared up to the sidewall. It's exactly what I teach. You do a nice job of leading with your elbow, which we'll see again later as well. But you got to go heavy on down the line. you seem to be heavy on cross courts, and I remember the reason I think I realized this because I used to do that too. I actually recorded myself a few years ago, and I was like, I'm hitting way too many cross courts. Down the line is your bread and butter shot in racquetball. Okay, even if you miss it, even if you leave it up, at least it's to his backhand. Look where he is on the court. He's shaded to the right side of the court. You should be just absolutely milking that down the line over and over again. Okay, so you tend to go cross court, you hit it right to him, and lucky for you, he went to the ceiling. Great job on the ceiling. Keep it off the back though. Try to soften up those ceiling balls just a little bit. So you hit that Z again, and at the point of contact, you're kind of watching them. Then you look away at the last second. Not too bad. I recommend hitting your Z's a lot lower too, Parker. Bend your knees, hit those a lot lower. Give your opponents less time. Look how much time he has. That ball's hitting the sidewall and bouncing up. So you want to give him a lot less time. Okay. So you missed two opportunities there that you could have put away. It happens, but that's why we're watching this analysis so we can figure out what's going on here, and we're going to help you become a better player. Down the line is the right shot here. Your opponent's in front of you. Even if you don't know where he is because your eyes are facing this way, you know that he's not over here, right? You know that he's not in this area on the left side of the court. We know he's not here. So that would be the right shot. Just go down the line with that one. I always tell people too, in racquetball, if you're in this position, down the line is almost the right shot like 90% of the time. It's literally the shot you should go to 90% of the time. And then mix in a few pinches, a few splats, and some cross courts. You went to the, I think you went for down the line. You might have went for a pinch. I don't know. I'm not really sure. From a technical standpoint, too, I should mention this right now, even though I'm running a little bit long in the video. Oh well, I talk a lot. What's new? You actually come up on your shots. Do you see your torso? So you're low. Let's see if we can identify this. So there's your hip level right there. And at the end of your swing, your hips have come way up here. I always tell people, start low, okay, which you do pretty good. Start low, knees are bent, swing low, and then finish low. So you started, I would say medium. You swung pretty low. I like how low it was. Then you came up high. So try to flatten that swing out. Start low, swing low, finish low. Bob did a nice job there hitting that pinch re-kill though. Give him some credit. All right, look at the little pinch rollout here. This is called speeding without getting caught. This is what my coach Fran Davis used to say: speeding without getting caught. So the right shot here, when your opponent's in front of you, is not a pinch. He's too far forward. Look where Bob is. He's covering the pinch. He's covering kill shots. If you got someone like that, just be so thankful that you get to play someone like that. No offense, Bob, by the way, if you're watching this. If you're playing someone whose tendency is to stand too far forward, be very thankful because you get to win the rallies by hitting high shots. You get to hit that line right there. So you're going to hit passes down the line, you're going to hit passes cross court, and you're going to have very low chance of skipping the ball. So Bob's too far forward, and you ended up hitting a pinch kill, which looks really good and it feels really good to hit it, but it's absolutely the wrong shot. So in golf, you drive for show and you putt for dough. You drive to look good and you putt to make money. In racquetball, it's kill for show and pass for dough. Always remember that. Ooh, you changed your mind. I like it. You're thinking on the court. So that should be noted. The things I look for in certain players, and you seem like a thinker, which I like. So you thought about something here and you changed your mind. You're like, nah, you know what? I'm going to go over here. I like that. I don't see a lot of players do that, and I think it's something that people should do. So give yourself some credit for that. See where the first bounce is? Parker, you're going to be a better player this week because this is something you can fix right now. Your serves are just too long, your lob serves. Get them on the dotted line, like I said, so they don't come off the back. This comes off the back. Against any high-level player, they're going to absolutely obliterate that. Bob has a tendency to hit it a little high. See how high his contact point is? Bob, if you're going to take lessons with me one day, we're going to let that ball drop, my friend. Don't tell Parker I said that. Okay, so you gave him a setup. Again, into the back wall. Last resort. Get your racket up. Nice. Oh, okay. You did a great job of waiting for this. I really like how you waited. I also like how you hit a forehand, not a backhand. You did a nice job waiting. Bend your knees more, Parker. Bend your knees. Bend your knees. Start low, swing low, finish low. I love your extension there. I hate the shot selection. Again, you're cross court heavy, like I mentioned earlier. Down the line, my friend. You hit a cross court right to him. Fortunately, he didn't get that one. That was actually a good lob serve there. I don't know what's going on in that back corner. Um, this is a ceiling ball for sure. I recommend practicing your ceiling balls in the back right corner. I feel like it's going to be exploitable by good players because you've hit a few that weren't so good. One time you hit the sidewall, one time you missed the ceiling, this time you missed the ceiling as well. Ceiling balls from the backhand side deep in the court are your best friend. They're there to get you out of trouble. They're there to bail you out. And it's something that you're going to want to really, really practice and master. Okay, so this is a good shot selection. Bob goes down the line, and you're in position. Pinch. We talked about this earlier. Exact same situation. You're going to want to practice a shot, though, because you left it way up. But yeah, this is another spot where you can practice by yourself. Just get down and ready. You got the ball in your hand. You toss it to the left, and then you hit a pinch. Okay? So I like your shot selection. I don't like the execution. You did a nice job of hustling back into center court, though. Rack it up. Great swing. It's a really good backhand swing. Just let the ball drop. You had your racket up. Ball's a little close, but look at the flatness of that swing. I like that. Yeah, okay, this is a good one for analysis on your swing. Let that ball drop nice and low, a little high. You and Bob both do that on the backhand side. This ball should be right down here, below your shins. Once you do that, just keep that same swing. That's a beautiful looking swing. Look at that. You're rotating your hips, your back foot pivots. Beautiful. Just let it drop. Like I said, you're really close to being a good player, like or a great player. You already are a good player. You're really close to being a great player, and I think these adjustments you can make like immediately. Good choice. Good choice. You're in trouble. Go ceiling. Get down and ready. Good choice. Got him deep. So now you're just fighting here. You're battling. Oh, good battle. Whoopsie. I've done that too. Don't worry about it. Let's just see what you did mechanically though. Okay, so the ball's behind you. Your racket's up. That's awesome. I love that. You got your eye on the ball. Looks like it took a funky bounce off the door handle there or something. That happens to everybody. Good swing though too. Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to see how you react to shots off the back wall. Thought you did well there. Not sure why you went ceiling there. I guess the ball took a funky bounce. He hit his Z. Whoops. And then this time, you didn't go into the back wall because the ball hit the back wall first, then side wall. This is a setup. I guess you just took a weird bounce and you kind of decided to play it safe and go ceiling. I don't hate that shot actually. But you got to work on those ceiling balls. Man, Parker, you're going to be a ceiling ball expert, my friend. You're going to practice them and get better at them, okay? This is one of those shots right here where I like to hit these two sometimes, but then I come back down to earth and I'm like, okay, I gotta be smart about this. You're running backward, you're in trouble, you know your opponent's in front of you. Yeah, Kane Wasylenchuk can absolutely flat roll these, right? But we're not Kane Wasylenchuk. The right shot here, definitely down the line pass. Get your opponent deep in the court. Bob has spent way too much time here in center court. We got to get him back here where you're going to win most of the rallies. Okay, get him deep in the court. Get all your opponents deep in the court so you get to own center court. By hitting a pinch here, it's really an all or none situation. You either roll it out or he's going to have an offensive opportunity. So you leave it up. Bob's got his chance and he should put that away. Oh, you got to it. Oh, that's an avoidable. That's okay though. Yeah, if you're deep in the court, pass, 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 pass. So we have the orange camera now. Something happened with the camera. My old camera used to do that too. So another ceiling ball issue there. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, you're going ceiling. I'm trying to see if there's anything mechanical happening there. You went right down the middle. I think it's just lack of practice. Just practice that ceiling ball over and over again. Ceiling balls are like free throws for NBA players. A lot of NBA players are terrible free throw shooters because they just don't like to practice them. They're too busy practicing like 360 dunks or cool spin moves and outside jump shots and three pointers. Nobody likes to practice free throws. I could spend 2 hours on the court just hitting ceiling balls. That's just me, though. I understand how some people don't want to do that. I get that, but I do recommend spending 5-10 minutes a day at least hitting ceiling balls because it's going to be exploitable, especially if you're playing a tournament coming up, like you said. I think we're going to have like an hour video here. I have a lot to say about this. This was supposed to be a 20-minute video. Okay, you guessed a little bit there. Don't guess. I like how you hustle, Parker, and you got to use your athleticism. You're in good shape for a 49-year-old. You're in good shape for a 20-year-old. But look at, so he's got a setup here, and you're running. I think you're guessing down the line. You're also pretty dangerous. I don't want you getting hit there. And he goes cross court, and then when you guess wrong, it's ugly. It's much better to just get yourself down and ready in center court, perfect position right here, and take your chances on getting to the shot. It'll give you the highest percentage chance to get to it. Another ceiling ball issue. Good hustle though. Good hustle. You can't skip hustle, like I always say. Good choice. Keep it off the back. Should be a forehand kill. Nice. Beautiful shot. That was perfect. You do a nice job of running around your backhand. You've done that a few times here. Yeah, forehand down the line's perfect there. Absolutely. You could have went cross court. You actually could have hit reverse pinch. He's so far back. You could have hit anything there. Good stuff. Okay, this is one here that happens again later too. I'm going to try to save you a lot of pain and suffering. So when you're hitting a Z serve, this is something we actually talk about at our racquetball camps with Fran Davis. That you never ever want to turn towards your opponent, because if he cut that off and hit it right in a certain area, ow, or up here, we don't want that, right? So you never turn around and face your opponent. The Z serve is the only time you're actually going to take your eye off the ball. So from here, you would actually relocate over here, looking over your left shoulder. I want you to practice this because you did it a few times, and I don't want you getting hit. Nice shot. Oh, you left it up a little bit, though. That was the right shot. So this is execution issues. I recommend practicing some pinches, too, in the front court. I have a lot of good pinch drills. Let's see what you did mechanically here. You're backing up. It's a little difficult shot, but still doable. Kind of came up on it. See your follow through, how high it is. I much prefer a low follow through. Your swing path in this situation goes like this. So the ball can go up or down, like a golfer kind of. It's pendulum swing. Try to have a nice flatter swing there. I love the shot selection though. I really don't. I don't mind it at all. Just left it up a little bit, and Bob did a nice job of putting that away. That's just one where you're going to want to bend your knees nice and low. Bend your knees, stay down on the ball. See how high that is? And then you come up a little bit. Ceiling ball issues. Great shot. That was beautiful. Perfect setup. Your racket's up. Let's see how low you can stay here. So what happened? All of a sudden now you're bending your knees, staying nice and low. Look at that. That's textbook. Do this more often. Parker, why aren't we doing this all the time? Okay, look at your elbow. Leading with your elbow. If I had to nitpick, I'd say get your right foot over here so that you're stepping straight. You're stepping at an angle, but it's something that we all do. Ideally, you want to step straight, but really it's not bad. But look at that full extension. Man, I can't teach you any better now. That's perfect. You're hitting the sweet spot of your strings. The right shot is down the line, number one, because he's so far over. And then second right shot would be actually reverse pinch, but I think it's just too dangerous from there. If you got down the line, always take down the line. It's just such a money shot. You hit that perfectly. Beautiful swing. So that swing kind of shows your potential. It shows what you can do. I always tell people that you're not going to take your best swing every single time. Let's say you take your best swing 1 out of 5 times, and then you practice and you get better and you watch video and you talk to Racquetball Tim, and then you're hitting 2 out of 5 times or 3 out of 5 times. That's great. Awesome. That's how you want to improve. The point is that your swing is there. We see it. We know your potential. It's there. We just saw it. That's the Parker that can come out when he's on his game. So and the lesson here is bend your knees nice and low, swing low, finish low. Do this every time. That's beautiful. Sorry, I got a little excited there for that beautiful forehand. That was a good backhand too. Nice and low, knees are bent. Maybe you just decided to start trying a little harder. I don't know. Maybe you realized that you were swinging too high. I don't know. Good stuff. Execution wasn't great. You ended up hitting it down the middle of the court. That's an easy shot there. Perfect. I am not even a quarter of a way through this game. Oh well, we have a lot to learn. It's fun for me too, so I guess we're having a good time. Hopefully you're learning something. Oh man, that ceiling ball. Ugh. Ugh. I'm gonna show you this 100 times in a row so that it embarrasses you, and then you're gonna be so motivated to not do this anymore. I should just put this on a loop. I'm so mean. I'm kidding, of course, but yeah, we're gonna fix that ceiling ball, my friend. We're gonna have your ceiling ball game up to par. I like that shot. Good hustle. Oh man, so that's just the execution thing right there. You just got to practice execution. I know it's frustrating. Racquetball can be frustrating, but you had plenty of opportunities. Right here, you're gonna want to get behind this ball. This ball got behind you, and you kind of parked yourself there a little bit. Not too bad though, actually. But this should be a down the line pass. If you want to practice this shot, because you have missed it a few times, and your tendency is actually to miss on the left side. Like that one earlier where I thought you might have been going for a pinch, but maybe down the line. Your tendency is to hit this ball to the left. So when you're practicing, stand in position, toss the ball back, just run back and get it, and try to hit right down the line over and over again. Okay. That's literally how I fix my game. I record myself, I find shots that aren't working, and then find drills to correct the shots, to correct the mistakes. Great forehand there, too. I'm going to go a little quicker through these rallies now. Beautiful shot. I wish you would stay lower on that, but it was still a good shot. So the ball came off the back. Oh, you got jammed a little bit. That's why you came up. Okay. So you got jammed. The tendency is to come up. That makes sense. Just try to work on that down the line. So your variance right now is pretty high. Your down the lines they're going to hit anywhere in there. Really, you want to have your down the lines pretty accurate right there. You want to really hone in and have a low variance with your shots, more accuracy. All right, let's go 3 more minutes. I think we've learned a lot, and maybe I can cut up the rest of this video some other time because there's a lot to learn. See, that's more of what you got to do right there. Beautiful cross court. Stay lower though. Lower. A little too high. I like the full extension. Great job mixing it up there, especially after a down the line. It's a great job. Those damn lefties, man. So there's that spin again. I don't want you getting hurt. See, against me or against a high-level player, we're going to cut that serve off right there. We're not going to want to wait. A lot of guys will run up and cut that off with your forehand too, and I don't want you getting hit. You're actually in a very vulnerable position right there. Ooh, he actually almost hit you too. Wow. So you're facing him. Ooh, that was close, and he actually went behind you. Looks like I almost hit your shirt. Yikes. Oh, look at that. Perfect ceiling right there. All right, we're going to have to put that one on a loop too. I got to be fair. I got to be a fair coach. So that's a good ceiling right there. Just practice them. Oh, you flick your wrist. That's what it is. Look at you flicking your wrist. Yeah, I don't do that when I hit my ceiling balls. It's just a nice, easy, flowy swing. You don't need to snap your wrist. It's more of arm and waist. We'll work on that. It's going to be hard to explain that over video. We'll work on that when you come to here to Vegas if you can take a lesson. Let that ball drop. You did a nice job with your swing and nice job with shot selection, but this ball's too high. You're hitting a shoulder high shot from the dotted line. Let that ball drop nice and low. And to do that, you got to back up a little bit. When you see this ball coming down, back up and then move into it so that you can manipulate where the ball is in terms of its height. The ball played you and ended up being too high. Having said that, I like your shot selection. The execution wasn't great, and Bob got a replay. Great cross court. It's actually a wide angle pass. This is called a wide angle pass for those who don't know. It's a pass that hits the front wall, then the side wall, and it wraps around behind your opponent. Typically, you're going to want to hit them a lot lower. You might have mishit this actually, but it still worked out the same. weak defensive shot. You got your setup. Okay, let's do a little quiz here. What is the right shot? So Bob is behind you. What did I say earlier? When your opponent is behind you, they're deep in the court, you got to hit a pinch, right? They're deep, you pinch. Pinches leave the ball in the front court. If we cut the line in half, cut the court in half, there's the court in half right there. Bob's in the back half of the court. We want to hit shots to the front half of the court. If we cut the court in half this way, Bob is on the left side of the court. We want to hit shots to the right side of the court. So what does a pinch do? It stays in the front court and it goes to the right. So that'd be ideal. That's a lot of lines on there. Let's see what he hit. Whoops. That was not a good segue. I'm not sure what shot you were going for actually, but your feet are wide open. Look at your right foot. I'm assuming you were going for a cross court based on your foot position right there. Yeah, I think you just mishit it. You're going for a cross court or a reverse pinch. Okay, when you come to Vegas, we're going to fix that foot right there. Every shot you take, you should be stepping forward, like I said, for your drive serve, and then you just change your contact point. By stepping to the right, an astute opponent, any high-level player, they're going to look at your feet and go, okay, he's hitting to the right. We know he's going over there. And when you pinch, you're going to step this way. And it's going to be too easy to read. So I'll help you with that one as well. Okay, we can't end this video on that shot, so we're going to have to find a good shot here. Great shot, Bob. Not much you could do there, Parker. He just hit a good shot. Oh, I like it. That's perfect. Okay, so I don't like that you're too far forward, like I said, but the one advantage of being too far forward is if you have an opponent who's hitting their drive serve into the sidewall, you tend to be in a better position for that. So nothing wrong with that. But again, most serves are designed to go to the backcourt. So having your ass to the glass returning drive serves makes way more sense. Unless you're playing an opponent who just hits way too many crack serves or serves that are short like this, then it's okay to take a step forward or two. Okay, so let's see. A nice backhand, beautiful follow through, nice and flat. Good stuff. And it's the right shot to pass. Remember, kill for show, pass for dough. This wasn't like an amazing, gorgeous, beautiful shot, but look at how high that is. And you got it deep in the court. Nothing he could do about it. Perfect. Good stuff. All right, I think I'm going to pause it right there. We're only 40% of the way through this video that you sent me, and that was 42 minutes of analysis. It's supposed to be 20 minutes, but what's new? I talk a lot, and I'm very passionate about racquetball. So hopefully some of the stuff I said helped out. If you need any clarification, please shoot me an email. If anybody else needs an analysis, please shoot me an email. It's racquetballtim@hotmail.com. Parker, you have my phone number too, so you can just text me if you need any clarification. I know you have a tournament coming up. So I will say there are some things that you can change today that will make you a better player, court position, shot selection. And then some of the things you're going to have to work on slowly over time because it's really hard to fix all that before a tournament. My prescription for you, if I'm a doctor and you're the patient, I would say get on the court, practice backhand ceiling balls. Hit 100 of them, hit 1,000 of them, whatever you can take. Hit as many as you can. Put on headphones, I don't care. But practice your backhand ceiling balls from the deep right court because that's going to be a big trouble for you. Practice your drive serve and move over when you hit them. And then, yeah, watch this video a few times because I think there's a lot of good information on there. And I think your game is, the cap on your game is pretty high. The ceiling on your game is pretty high as long as you make the changes that I recommend. All right, my friend. Hope that helped you out. Hope it helps anyone else out who's watching this video. As always, I'll see you guys on the courts. If you have any questions, like I said, it's racquetballtim@hotmail.com. And we'll see you guys on the courts. Take care.